Narayanam namaskritam naram cheva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayat panchatatvatpakam krishnam bhaktarupa surupakam bhaktavataram bhaktakyam namami bhaktashaktikam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I offer pranams thousands of times the lotus feet of our Gurudev, Om Vishnupad Udandi Swami Sri Bhaktivedanta, Narayan Gosai Maharaj, our Rupanuga Guru Parampara, our Shiksha Guru Sri Gaur Govinda Gosai Maharaj, Sri Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Gosai Maharaj, all Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, thank you for coming. So tonight is our first night. So hopefully we'll get a chance for 5 nights of Harikatha. Jagat Guru Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, there is no shortage of anything in this world, there is only shortage of topics of Krishna. That is the lacking. So we'll try to fill that shortage just for 5 nights. So lend us your ears and drink this katha. So I thought we'd have a little introduction to this Bhagavat Purana. We know that in the beginning of creation, the Supreme Lord Narayan, from his navel came a lotus. On top of that lotus was situated the secondary creator, Chaturmukh Brahmaji, Lord Brahma. And from Lord Brahma comes the creation. So, in the beginning of creation, Lord Brahma was thinking, who am I? What is my duty? Where did I come from? So when he saw himself situated on one lotus, the top of that lotus is Brahmalok, the abode of Lord Brahma. So he entered into the stem of that lotus to try to find its source. For thousands of years, he endeavored but was not successful. No, because the Supreme Lord is called Adoksaj. He is beyond the mind, beyond the senses. He cannot be reached by the ascending process of knowledge. Sri Krishna can be understood only by the descending process, the Shrotapat, the path of hearing. So Brahma was again sitting there, then he heard some voice, tapa, tapa, do austerities. So he thought, who is telling me to do austerities? I will find him. And therefore he sat in meditation for thousands of celestial years until finally the Supreme Lord revealed himself first as Bhagavan Narayan and last as Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna spoke to him all the Vedic knowledge. So Brahma heard, meditated, then he spoke that knowledge to his disciples. And Brahma is called Adi Guru. He is the Guru of the Vedic system. So in one sense, the whole creation is his disciple. But his main disciple, of course, is his sons, Narada, Chatusnan. They also spoke to their disciples. In this way, evam parampara praptam imam rajasya vidu sakale namataha yoganasta parantapa. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains, O Arjun, O Parantap, this Brahma Vidya, this knowledge of God, knowledge of devotion, Brahma Vidya Visruta, Amnaya Shrutiya Shakshat Brahma Vidya Visruta, Guru Parampara Praptam Vishvakata Hi Brahmana. This Brahma Vidya, this knowledge of absolute truth, this is understood by the process of hearing. So, Amnaya Shrutiya Shakshat Brahma Vidya Vishruta, Guru Parampara Praptam Vishvakata Hi Brahmana. It begins with Vishvakata, Lord Brahma, and comes down. This is called Parampara. So Brahma had his disciples like Narada. Narada has so many disciples. Hey, the disciples of Narada so much famous, like Prahlad, like Dhruva, no? So many disciples has Narada. Valmiki Maharaj himself, no? So many disciples. Even the disciples of Narada, so famous. No? So in this way, this knowledge came down to this material world generation after generation. No? So, this was Satyuga. In Satyuga, people had such enormous lifespans, so much intelligence, no need any book, no need any writing. They were all Shrutidars. Shrutidar means they could hear once and remember everything. But now we're in Kali Yuga. We meet someone, we have to ask their name 4 or 5 times, right? What we had for breakfast yesterday, we cannot think. Who can understand all the Vedas just by hearing once? That is impossible in Kali Yuga. Therefore, Bhagavan appeared in a special incarnation, that is in the form of Vyasadeva. And Vyasadeva, he's called by some the literary incarnation. He took the Veda, which before was only heard, and he put pen to paper. So, when Vyasadeva compiled the Vedas, he needed a secretary. So Ganesh was chosen. Ganesh is considered the most intelligent of the devas, because elephant never forgets. So when Vyasadeva invited Ganesh to write, then Ganesh said, maybe Ganesh had a little bit of pride. Ganesh said, I will write, but on one condition. If you stop speaking for a moment, I will put down my pen and disappear. So it should be constant, like a flow of honey from a jar. No break should be there in your recital. So Vyasadeva smiled, I accept your condition, but I also have one condition. You cannot write anything you don't understand. So Ganesh agreed. Then Vyas did so great work. Actually, many mundane Indologists and mundane scholars, they're arguing over the age of the Vedas. Some say, 3,000 years. Some say 4,000 years. But this is foolish. The Vedas are there since the beginning of creation. Even when Krishna appeared at the end of Dwapara Yuga, which was 5,000 years ago, Vedic system was still very strong. 16 million years when Ramchandra came to this earth planet, how strong was the Vedic culture? And that was only in Treta Yuga. So it gives you some idea of the antiquity of the Vedic system. Satya, Treta, Dwapara and Kali Yuga. This is called one Divya Yuga. 1,000 Divya Yugas is one day of Brahma. 1,000 Divya Yugas is one night of Brahma. And Brahma lives 100 of his years. So we should not believe the Vedas is only 5,000 years or 3,000 years, or some say maximum 6,000 years. The Veda is there since the very beginning of creation. So Vyasadeva, Veda means knowledge. So Vyasadeva took that one Veda, made to 4. Rig, Atha, Sama and Yajurveda. Afterwards, he compiled the Upanishads. Some say there are 108 main Upanishads, that which brings you near to God. Then he compiled the Puranas, 18 main Puranas. Actually, most of the confusion in spiritual life comes from these Puranas. Why? Puranas of 3 types: Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic. 6 Tamasic Puranas. These Tamasic Puranas are written for those in Tamagun. So they promote animal slaughter, offering of wine and meat and all these things, worship of devas like Shankar. Because Shankar is the Ishtadeva of Tamagun, he is the destroyer. So those who have this nature, they will accept the Tamasic Puranas. Those of a Rajasic nature, they will take advice from the Rajasic Puranas, which promote the worship of Indra, right? Brahma, Ganesh, all these, for the fulfillment of material desires. And of course, the superior to them are the Sattvic Puranas, like the Vishnu Purana, the Padma Purana. No, they promote the worship of Bhagavan Vishnu, who is the Sattvaguna Devata. So he compiled the Puranas. He compiled the fifth Veda, which is called Mahabharata. Inside is the pearl, the jewel of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, spoken directly by Sri Krishna himself. Then, not being satisfied by the Mahabharata, he compiled the Vedanta Sutra. But still he was not happy. He could not understand why I'm not satisfied. No? Just like sometimes a doctor cannot tell his own disease. I heard a psychologist who solves the problems of everyone. Every psychologist needs his own psychologist. So Vyasadeva, so great Mahapurush, incarnation of Narayan himself, Vyaso Narayanam Shakshad, a direct avatar of Narayan himself. But when he became confused, he became unhappy. I have written so much, described so much, but I'm not feeling satisfied. I'm not feeling happy. Why? That time, as he was in bewilderment, his own Gurudev Narada came. Then Vyasadeva became so happy, like a peacock. When sadhu comes, we should not think, oh no, here comes Maharaj again. He wants his monthly donation. Why he only comes at lunchtime? Don't think like that. Pure sadhu only comes to give, never to take. So when sadhu comes, we should be like peacock, so happy. When the peacock sees the rain clouds, the monsoon, he begins to dance. No, we just came from Peru. We were there for 2 months. It never rains. It's in a desert. So we come to Trinidad and see the rain and everything's so green. How happy we feel. So the peacock feels so happy when he sees the monsoon clouds. In the same way, Vyas became so happy. Gurudev has come. So with great respect and great affection, he gave him a nice seat, some sweet words, some swagat. Then sitting at the feet of his Guru, Narad Muni asked, Vyas, you seem not to be so happy. There was the Radesh that they were talking about. See the changed person, still a work in progress. So Narad Muni asked, Vyas, you seem not to be happy. Then, yes, Gurudev, I cannot understand why. Then Narad Muni said, because Nayad Vachas Chitra Padam Hari Yaso Jagat Pavitram Praganat Karichit. You have not directly described the Supreme Lord. In fact, you've described everything only about the body and the mind. Dharma, Artha, and Karma. In simple language, you have only described a materialistic religion. Like if you read Mahabharata especially. If you give a Brahmin an umbrella, you get this. If you give Ganesh this, you get that. If you worship Shiva this way, you can fulfill this desire. So actually you have just caused confusion. So you should write another scripture, because in Vyas in this world is 2 types of persons, the crow and the swan. Where does the crow live? He lives in the garbage dump. What he's finding there? Fish bones, chicken bones. Especially in Trinidad, plenty of chicken bones around. The crow is like that. He liked the dirty things, the filthy things. He liked the things of this world. The crow, who lives in the dirty places, who is attracted to materialistic topics. But Vyas, there is another bird, the swan. Where does the swan live? The pure place. So in this world, most are crows, but some swans are there. They're called the Vaishnavas, devotees of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, devotees of Bhagavan Sri Ram. They are pure. They're called the Paramahamsas. So you should write some scripture for the Paramahamsas. Maybe in the audience is a few crows, like before Radesh was black. Now some white is coming through. So sometime the crow also change. He give up his tamasic, he gives up his bad habits and adopt pure habits, then the crow feathers go. He becomes white. He becomes a swan. So Narad said, you should write another scripture, a separate division. Yad Vaishnavan Priyam Yasman Paramahamsa Eka Amalam Param Gyana Gyate. You should write another scripture which is dear to the Paramahamsas, dear to the Vaishnavas, which have no materialistic topics at all. There is only one topic, that is service to Sri Krishna. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Sarup Sri Bhagavat. That is called the Bhagavat Purana. This book we have in front of us tonight. That is called the Paramahamsa Sanghitam. That is called the Sanghita of the Paramahamsas, of the Vishnu Bhaktas. So Gurudev would explain, our Gurudev, Sri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj would explain. Narad Muni said, Vyas, what have you described in your Puranas? Have you described that the gopis have caught Krishna as he's putting his hand in the butter pot? Then the gopis come and grab his hand. Kanaya, actually I heard in Mexico yesterday, Kanaya means rascal. In Spanish, Kanaya. So we called one devotee Kanaya. He was not very happy. But Kanaya, Kanaya, are you stealing my butter? Then Krishna says, no. Oh really, why your hand is in my butter pot? Then Krishna said, Gopi, you are very cruel. On my hand I have so many wrists, so many bangles. They rub up and down and my hand becomes burning. To cool the burning sensation of my hand, I put it in your butter pot for medicinal purposes. Then Gopi is so much laughing, no? Oh really, Kanaya, you're not stealing butter? No. Then please explain why butter is on your mouth. Then Krishna says, one monkey came, he was stealing butter. So when I said, get away from that butter, that belongs to the gopis. When I went to fight him, he did like this on my face and ran away. But I promise, Maya nahi maka nakayo. Mother, I am not stealing butter. No. Have you written this in any of your Upanishads or any of your Puranas? Then Vyasadeva would say, no, Gurudev. Then what you have written, nothing. Nayad vachas chitrapadam hariyaso. You should write one scripture with nothing else except the glories of Sri Krishna, the glories of Sri Ram, the glories of Sri Nrsingadev, the glories of Vishnu. Vishnu means what? Many people think Krishna and Vishnu is two. Ram and Vishnu is two. But Vishnu means Savavyapak, one who pervades everything. So Sri Krishna is also Vishnu. Sri Ram is also Vishnu. So you should write one scripture with only topics of Krishna, only topics of Vishnu, no other topics. Then Narad Muni blessed to Vyas. And what did Vyasadeva see? Yo samohito jivam atmakam trigunatmakam parope anatam chatukanam chatkritam chabipadyate. Anato pasanam shakshat bhakti yoga adoksaje. What did Vyasadeva see in his meditation? he saw the Supreme Lord. Yasya Vaishyamane Krishna Parama Purusha. He saw Param Purush, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, with his Shakti. Who is the Shakti of Sri Krishna? That is Vrishabhanu Nandini Srimati Radhika. So Vyasadeva in his Samadhi, Bhakti Yoga Manasi, in his Samadhi, Samyak Bhakti Yoga Manasi Samak Purusham Maya Chatadapasrayam. In his Bhakti Yoga Samadhi, he saw Sri Radha Krishna, all their lila, all their pastimes. He also saw the pastimes of all the other avatars. And what he saw in his Samadhi, he spoke, and Ganesh took notes. He also saw Yo-Yo Samohitam Jivanapnatam Trigunatmakam. He also saw the jivas, us, the souls, who have forgotten Krishna, who have turned away from Krishna. What is Trinidad? Everyone in Trinidad, what are they doing? Turning away from Krishna. Like tonight, how many have come? 20, 30. First night's a little slow. But if West Indies was playing England, thousands and thousands and thousands would go. But Harikatha, no one have too much interest. Because this material world made for that. Why Bhagavan made this world of Maya? This Durga Dham, the prison house of Durga. No, Durga means prison house. And this world is manufactured by Shiv Shakti, Durga, Maya. So this is the prison house. And who's in the prison house? The prisoners, the criminals. Sometimes the criminals in Trinidad want to go to America. Like a criminal gets a transfer from one jail cell to another. But this whole Brahmanda, this whole universe from the planet of Brahma down, Chodabhuvan, the 14 planetary systems, is all one big prison. Some prisoners have handcuffs of iron, tamagun, that is the plant species, animal species. Some prisoners have handcuffs of silver, the human beings, Rajagun. Some prisoners have handcuffs of Sattvagun, the devatas. But all are prisoners. And what's the cause of their incarceration? Only one cause, Krishna Bahirmukhoi Bhogavanchastari Nikatasti Mayati Japatiyadari. Pisachi Paila Yenat Matta Chatahoy. All souls have only one cause of incarceration, forgetting Krishna. Why should I serve him? I should enjoy myself. No. This is called karma, karotuma. The soul becomes bound by desire to enjoy his own actions. No. And moving in this cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. And for this there is only one medicine. Topics of Krishna. Guru Maharaj would say, if we sit and chant on japa, mind will go everywhere. But in Harikatha, no, we can hear. No. In Harikatha, easily we can absorb ourselves in remembering from Krishna, because Katha has so much power. No. So these topics of Krishna, this is the medicine for destroying the suffering of the living entities. No. What's it called? Adhyatmik, Adidevik, Adibautik Duk. No. They call threefold miseries. Suffering of our own mind caused by own mind and body. Many people commit suicide. Why? They have enough to eat. They have enough cloth. But so much the mind makes them crazy. They become depressed. They take medication. They take intoxication. Right? Soon Carnival is coming here, right? When is Carnival? This weekend. I heard this year will be virtual Carnival. I heard. But I bet all the drinking won't be virtual Carnival. That will all be direct and real. This is also one medicine. So much people suffering. Let me forget this by drinking. So suffering of own body, own mind, adhyatmic, adibhotic, suffering caused by others, the neighbors, the police, the in-laws, the wife, the children, the suffering, the dogs biting, mosquitoes. So suffering of own body and mind, suffering caused by others, and suffering caused by the devas. Too much rain, too much heat, war. Now Russia and Ukraine. This is all adidevic. So only one medicine for this. That is topics of Krishna. So 5 nights, starting with the appearance of Krishna. How Krishna came to this world. Sumintra Didi said, we want something interesting for the young people. What could be more interesting in how the Supreme Lord appears in this world? Like even in the mundane world, this material world, some big politician comes, everyone goes crazy. Let me go and see. Like if the President of America comes here and visits, so much security arrangements, so much this and that, so what could be more interesting than the appearance of the Supreme Lord in this world? How He comes. Why He comes. What does He want? What do people want from Him? So this first night we want to little talk about this. So this Bhagavat Purana was spoken by Vyasanandan, the son of Vyasadeva, named Sukadeva Goswami. And he spoke this to the grandson of Arjuna. That is Pariksit Maharaj. Arjuna's son was Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu was only 16 years when he was killed in the Mahabharata war. Karna, Drona, 7 came and attacked him and killed him. He was only 16 years old. Abhimanyu. But when he died, he had left a child in the womb of his wife, Subhadra. No. Subhadra was Arjuna's wife. So Uttara was her name. So she was young, and this is the grandson of Arjuna. So that child was born by the name of Pariksit. In the womb, then the son of Drona, Aswatthama, tried to kill him by the Brahmastra. But Krishna saved him and gave him a new body by his glance. In the womb, he saved him from the Brahmastra weapon. So as a child, as an embryo, Pariksit, the baby, saw Krishna. So handsome, so charming. We heard these bhajans. His eyes full of nectar, full of ras. His neck crooked. His eyes crooked. Krishna also, you would never see him standing straight. He also crooked. Guru Maharaj says, his yamuna is crooked. His glance is crooked. His pose is crooked. Guru Maharaj would say, his devotee, his yamuna is crooked. And his devotee is more crooked. So Pariksit saw the charming form of Krishna while in the womb of his mother. Therefore, when he was born, he was always looking for Krishna. Always looking. Therefore, he was given the name Pariksit. In Hindi, Pariksha means to examine. He was looking everywhere and in everyone. Where is Krishna? Where can I find him? Pariksit was cursed to die in 7 days. But by good fortune, he met the son of Vyas. And Vyasadeva spoke to him this Srimad Bhagavatam. Kali Yuga began just when Krishna left. When Krishna disappeared, Kali Yuga began at that time. But this Bhagavatam is also considered an incarnation of Krishna. So Pariksit had heard the first 9 cantos, the first 9 sections of this Srimad Bhagavat Purana. It said the first 2 sections, the first 2 cantos, first 2 chapters, I guess you'd say, they are the 2 lotus feet of Krishna. The 3rd and 4th chapters are the thighs of Krishna. The 5th is the stomach of Krishna. The 6th is the chest of Krishna. The 7th and 8th are the 2 snake-like arms of Sri Krishna. The 9th is the throat of Krishna. And the 10th canto, which we'll hear from the next 5 days, this 10th canto is the face of Krishna. And those chapters dealing with Krishna's pastimes with the Braja Gopis, this is the smile of Krishna. But still many people hear this but don't understand who is Krishna, why Krishna is dancing with millions and millions of gopis. So to give them proper understanding, the 11th canto is the forehead of Krishna, the brain of Krishna, the knowledge given by Krishna. And 12th is the top of Krishna's head. So this book, this literature, this scripture, this book, the Srimad Bhagavatam, is considered one incarnation of Krishna. And by hearing, Krishna takes birth in the heart of the devotee. So tonight I want a little talk about Krishna's appearance. We call Janma Lila. In English we say birth. So we will discuss this tattva. Very difficult to understand. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Janma karma chame divyam evam yovati tattvataha deha tvakta puna janma neti maeti savajuna. Krishna gives us a benediction. O Arjun, one who understands divya, the transcendental nature, janma karma. Janma karma chame divyam. Evam yoveti tattvataha. Krishna says, one who understands the divine nature of my birth, janma, and my karma, his lila, that person never takes birth again. So we are too much lucky to hear this. Means one who understands nicely what we will speak tonight, that person will never see the womb of a mother again. So try and hear a little carefully. No? So Pariksit heard everything? No. The first 9 cantos, they're about many, many incarnations of Bhagavan. Bhagavan Ramchandra, who appeared in the Yadu dynasty, who appeared in the Raghu dynasty. He heard about Bhagavan Nrsingadev, who appeared in Satyuga. No? There is also topics of many incarnations like Varahadev. No? So many. But still, he heard about different pastimes of Sankarshan. But still he was not happy. Why? Because unless he hears topics of Krishna, he not feel satisfied. Because Krishna has something special that no other incarnation has. These are called 4 Maduris. Ram is so much handsome. No? But Krishna, 1,000 times more attractive even than Bhagavan Majada Purushottam Ramchandra. No? There's a pastime. We know Sita was most chaste woman. Sita was most chaste. The husbands always say to the wives, why can't you be like Sita? And wife always thinking, you could be a bit more like Ram yourself. No? Sita, so chaste woman. So chaste. But one day she was drawing a picture on a rock in Vanaprast when they went to the forest. Then Ramchandra came behind and saw she is drawing the picture of another man on a rock. Normally a husband, if he came home and saw his wife looking at someone, some on the phone or some new guy on Facebook, husband would become angry. But Ram not became angry, Ram smiled. Oh Devi, you are famous as most chaste woman in this world. why you are drawing the picture of another man on this rock? Who is this other man? Then Sita also smiled. Prabhu, you know everything. But this is your form that you will come in Treta Yuga. Gopinath. Please, I want to see this form. This form is so enchanting. Means even more enchanting than you. So, Ram smiled. He said, Devi, I cannot show you. Many people don't understand this point, no? So here with a little bit of faith, and afterwards you have any question you can ask. No? According to the Bhagavat Purana, Krishna is the source of all incarnations. Right? Krishna's tu Bhagavan, ete changsa kalapumsa, Krishna's tu Bhagavan swayam. No? Bhagavatam says, ete changsa, all these incarnations. Bhagavatam describes 25 different incarnations. But last, so that we should not think Krishna and the others are the same. We should not make the mistake. Ete means all of these which I previously described. Ete changsa kalapumsa. All these are ansas or colors of the pums, of the Parampurush. Means all these other incarnations are expansions of Sri Krishna. Therefore, Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam. But Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. Swayam means original. So the original always have something special which the expansions do not have. I know, like some material example, like when before we had Xerox, right? The first one you type is nice, or before even Xerox you had the carbon paper for the really old guys in the audience. The first paper you write on, that is clear and nice. But as you make 4 or 5 copies on a carbon paper, by number 6 or 7 you can't even read it. So the original, the source, always has something special which the expansions do not have. Therefore, when Sita asked, I want to see your form of Gopinath that you take in Dwapara Yuga, Ram said, I cannot. Because Krishna has something which Lord Ram does not have. Yet they are both Bhagavan. No? Srinath, Janakinath, Abedastu Paramatmani, Hanuman said. Srinath, Krishna. Janakinath, the Lord of Janaki, Ram. Srinath, Janakinath, Abedastu Param. They are both Abed. There is no difference between them. No? But still, there is no difference between Krishna and Ram. They are one tattva. But there is some vishishta, some speciality. Some speciality in Krishna that you cannot find in any other incarnation. So these 4 vishishtas. Number 1, Krishna has super excellent beauty that no other incarnation has. Otherwise, why Sita is attracted to Krishna? That means Krishna has something which even Lord Ram does not have. So she asked, Prabhu, I want to see that form you come in Treta Yuga. Ram said, I cannot. I cannot manifest that. Like Guru Maharaj would say, Krishna can become Ram. Krishna can show himself as Ram. But Ram cannot show himself as Krishna. Understand? Krishna can become Shiva. Krishna can show himself as Mahadev. But Mahadev cannot show himself as Krishna. Because something is special in the original. No? So, Ram said, I cannot show you, but I can draw something for you. So, taking one arrow from his quiver, Lord Ram carved a deity of Gopinath. That deity is still there in Ramuna, near Jagannath Puri, not so far, Ramuna. And his name, Kirchod Gopinath. So, Lord Ram appeared 16 million years ago. Right? Rupa Goswami describes in Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Lord Ram not appeared in this Divi Yuga. He appeared three Divi Yugas before. No. That is 16 million Earth years. So, but how strong is Sanatana Dharma? No. Even though I know even in Trinidad, everywhere, every corner, there's some Ram Mandir, someone speaking Ramcharitamanas. No. And Trinidad separate from India for like how many years you guys have been here? 150 years? But still strong. And in India, more strong. That is the strength of this Sanatana Dharma. So Krishna has super excellent beauty. This beauty make everyone mad. This beauty make everyone his servant. Even other incarnations. We'll talk about that more later. The very end of the Purana describes one. We shouldn't describe the end before we describe the beginning, but just give something. One time there was one Brahmin living in Dwarka. His son was born, but his son died. Baby died in the hands of the mother. So the father was very upset. He took the dead child and he put it in front of the gate of Ugrasen, the king of Dwarka. He began abusing Ugrasen. Why the Brahmanas should suffer? Only the Brahmanas suffer when the king is sinful. So Ugrasen, what you're doing behind the closed doors, that we are suffering, your subjects. In this way the Brahman would blaspheme, criticize the king and go. I think 8 children died in this way, one by one, one by one, one by one. And every time the father would put the dead body in the palace of the king and abuse. I think when the 8th child died, while he was abusing Ugrasen, Arjuna was there listening. What is this? A Brahman is suffering? So Arjuna said, Brahman, I promise I will protect your son. I give my word. If I cannot protect your son, I will give up my body. I will commit suicide. Then the Brahman, you? Who are you? Prajumna, Vasudeva, Prajumna, Aniruddha, they cannot protect my son, but you will protect my son. Then Arjuna, what? I am not Prajumna, Sankarsana, or Aniruddha. I am Arjuna. I hold the Gandiva bow. I promise I will protect your son. So the Brahman agreed. When the Brahmana's good wife again became with child, Arjuna came the night before. And he built a cage of arrows around the house of a Brahman. No, even one insect can go inside. So he made sure there's no devata, no demon, no nothing. And all night he stood guard. In the morning the child was born. And not only the child died, the whole child disappeared. No body. Disappeared in thin air. The Brahman began to abuse Arjuna. Arjuna, you eunuch, false promises. Arjuna said, I will find your son. He looked everywhere, in the celestial planets, in the, what they call, subterranean planets. Everywhere he looked. The abode of Yamaraj, everywhere, but he could not find. Just flew last night, so a little stiff. He could not find the child. So he promised to kill himself. He made a fire. He was about to enter the fire. Krishna grabbed his hand. Come with me, Arjuna, I will find the child of the Brahman. He went on Krishna's divine chariot. And he not only went to Brahmalok, he went past Brahmalok. Through the Brahmajyoti, where the liberated souls reside. Through that. And he came to the Mahakalpur, the place of Mahavishnu. We will hear tonight about Vishnu Tattva. They saw the Mahapurush, Mahavishnu. Krishna Arjuna bowed. Krishna bowed to himself in the form of Mahavishnu. Then Mahavishnu described, I stole the son of the Brahman. No. Why? I want to see you. I want your darshan. So in his commentary, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes very wonderful things. He writes, Arjuna was thinking, Vishnu is the protector of the Brahmanas. It says, Go Brahmanya Hitayacha. Krishna always famous as protector of the Brahmanas. If Mahavishnu is the protector of the Brahmanas, why would he perform such a horrible activity of killing 9 children, the sons of a Brahmin. Number 1. Number 2, in Dwarka, even the taxi drivers, the street sweepers, the fruit sellers, they see Krishna every day. Right? 16,108 queens, Krishna married to each one of them. So you can think 16,108 Krishnas in Dwarka, each Krishna doing a different thing at the same time. So in Dwarka, even the taxi drivers, the street sweepers, the shoe shiners, they see Krishna every day. But Mahavishnu cannot see the pastimes of Krishna in Dwarka. He cannot see, they're beyond him. So Arjuna thinking all these things? No. Oh, I know why. No. Because to protect the sons of the Brahmana, Krishna has brought me here. But Arjuna said no. Otherwise, if it was for the son of the Brahmana, I would have come the first time. But only when you threatened to commit suicide, then I came. So in conclusion, even Mahavishnu, he have greed, he have desire to see the sweetness of Krishna. So Krishna has these 4 qualities no one else has, no other incarnation. What to speak of any jiva? Like these days people claim, Satya Sai Baba, Bhagawan, come on. Satya Sai Baba, grey hair, old. Last he was in wheelchair, electric wheelchair, going here and there. This is no Bhagawan. Lord Ram was more than 16,000 years in Ayodhya, king. But we never see even Ram have one white hair, one wrinkle, always Navanaveen, always like 16 years youth. This is Bhagawan. Very sad. Today, Kali Yuga, people giving up the worship of the real Bhagawan and worshipping these $5 Bhagawans you find in the street here and there. And YouTube is one guy, he claims, I am Kalki Bhagawan. There's one fellow, you can find him. Don't waste your time looking. He's got a huge stomach, completely bald. He used to be an insurance salesman before in Pune, Maharashtra. And now he's become Bhagawan after retirement. And his wife is no Lakshmi, I'm telling you. She ain't no Lakshmi. So people very foolish. Therefore this scripture will save us from all this madness. So, today we want to talk about the appearance of Sri Krishna in this world. Very sweet Katha. So, only 1 hour left, so I have to a little move. So, Pariksit Maharaj heard everything, all the other incarnations, but still he is not satisfied. Like you eat so much rice, dal, sabji, but you're not satisfied till the halva comes. So, Nivritita she upagiyamana bhavad shoti shota manobiramat ka uttama shloka gunanavanat pumsam virajat vina pasugya. Who is that person who will give up? Pariksit Maharaj said. Who is that person who will give up topics of Krishna for some other katha, some other topics? Virajyata vina pasugya. That person is like a killer of their own soul. Nibrititar se upagiyamana. These topics of Krishna should be heard from someone who has given up all material desires. Okay, I'm not that standard, but I'm just saying, Many pundits I know in Trinidad, hey Maharaj, come and do, what do you call, Narayan Puja? Come and do Bhagavat Sapta. Okay. $10,000 US, 5,000. They set some fee. And that person not speaking for Krishna's pleasure, that person speaking for their own desire. So if we get the mercy of Krishna, we can hear from someone who really have no desire. Only they want Krishna's seva, Krishna's satisfaction. So nabriti tashi upagiyamana bhavod soti shota manobiramat. Many years ago, I don't know, they used to do cruises, they still do, now pandemic. They used to do like Harikatha cruise. And all the people would go on the cruise and they would ask some speakers to speak and entertain the audience. So one time one man came because he heard Bhaktivedanta Madhusudana Maharaj, most learned in Vrindavan, or maybe he will come on the cruise. So I was there when this man came to meet Maharaj. His picture's here. Then the man was saying, oh, we're doing this cruise, you come and speak. Then the man asked, how much you charge? How much is your fee for like 1 week? Then Maharaj was explaining, this is not business, this is Katha. This is Krishna Seva. Like Sukadeva Goswami, he spoke 7 days and 7 nights. His disciple was the king of the whole world. So imagine what type of donation he will give. But Sukadeva Goswami not even took 1 glass of water from him. So we should have a guru like that, a speaker of Katha like that. So the man asked, how much you charge? Maharaj will explain, these are no business. He goes, don't be shy, come on, how much you want, 20 lakh, okay, 25 lakh. And Maharaj was just silent, 30 lakh, 40. Then finally Maharaj said, this is not Katha, this is only business. And he refused. We should not sell Krishna, we should not sell Katha. So navrittita shaya bhagiyamana. We should hear from the proper person, the proper agent, the servant of Krishna. And bhavod shadi mano bidama. This Krishna Katha, this is medicine. Bhavo shadi. Osadi means medicine. For bhav rog, the disease of material existence. So this medicine you drink by ears. So who is that person who will give up topics of Krishna for some other topics? That person is like a killer of their own self. So I definitely want to hear about Krishna. You explained all about the Sun dynasty, the incarnations of the Sun dynasty. But I also want to hear something about the Moon dynasty. Especially Krishna Chandra, the moon of Krishna. I want to hear about him. How Krishna appeared in this world. Why he only stayed a short time in Vrindavan, then went to Mathura. What did he do there? Why he killed his own uncle, Kamsa. This killing is very bad. Why he did it like that? Why did Krishna transfer himself from the house of Vasudeva to the house of Nanda? What did he do there in Vrindavan? I want to hear about the birth of Sankarshan, Balaram. Krishna has no material body. How did he appear in the family of the Yadus? How many years he lived there? How many wives did he marry? And how many years he lived in Vrindavan and in Dwarka? I wish to know everything about Krishna. Something you spoke in the beginning of the first canto, you spoke something. But now, I'm drinking these topics of Krishna, which is like nectar. And Pariksit gave up eating and drinking for 7 days. He said, but still, because I'm drinking this nectar of Krishna Katha, I feel no hunger and thirst. And this nectar is coming from your mouth, so don't stop, just keep going, more and more. So, when Sukadeva Goswami heard this question, he becomes so happy, so blissful. Mostly these so-called disciple and so-called guru, disciple only coming with material problems. Gurudev, my graha is no good, help me astrologically, get some bad period. Disciple is like that. And gurus, mostly in Kali Yuga, guru is like that. But you see, Pariksit Maharaj is not asking anything material. Soon I will die, what will happen? What about my wife and children? He only asking, I want to hear topics of Krishna. So when Sukadeva Goswami heard that, he so much glorified Pariksit. Oh, Rishi Rajan. Rishi Rajan, many people think means saintly king. No. Rishi Rajan means of all saints, you are the king because you have so much taste for hearing Krishna Katha. Like Gurudev would say. Some person may chant so much Harinam, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Some person may give so big donations to the temples. No? Some person can be a Ekadasi without drinking, without eating. But they don't like to hear topics of Krishna. They don't like to hear, Guru Maharaj would say they have no advancement at all, no love for Krishna. No. So, Sukadeva Goswami said, King, you are so fortunate. You have so much interest, so much greed for topics of Krishna. That means your intelligence is perfect. Sometimes Madhusudana Maharaj says, perfect intelligence means no material desire. That is perfect intelligence. And your attraction to hear is always increasing. So like the Ganga, when it flows from the top of the universe, it purifies the 3 planetary systems, upper, middle, and lower. So topics of Krishna are also like a river of nectar. It purifies 3 persons. Those who ask the question, those who speak the answer, and those who hear. Everyone is benefited by topics of Krishna. So here he begins. In the end of Dwapara Yuga, so many demons were there. In Treta Yuga, there was only one demon, Ravan, and his followers, a few here and there. But the end of Dwapara Yuga, so many demons were there, so powerful. Like Ravan, Putana, Kuvalyapid, Trinavarta, Agasur, Bakasur, Sakatashur, Agasur, Keshi. So many demons. And they had their millions and millions of followers. So, the earth felt so much burden. So many sinful persons, so many demons fighting over her. So earth become like a cow. So earth is called Prithvi Devi. She's one goddess. So just like now Russia and Ukraine fighting. So you could imagine that time so many demons also fighting for possession of the earth. The earth not feel happy by this. Earth is one mother. So she providing all type of foodstuffs for us, goods. But we not do any bhajan of Krishna, then earth feel discomfort. That's why sometimes there's too much rain, not enough rain. Earthquake, war, this means the earth planet disturbed by many persons, no interest in spiritual life. They're like a burden. No? So earth became very distressed. She took the form of a cow. And with tears in her eyes, she went to the Lord Brahma. Like if there's any ordinary disturbance, like in Trinidad, right? If there's some problem here in Aranguez, local police station take care, right? Hopefully, I don't know, probably not. But local problem, local police take care. But some big problem, like from Venezuela, some outside force coming, then the federal police are called, right? Then any big problem, who knows, you go to America or the United Nations. So the universe have its own order. Local problem, king takes care. Bigger problem, then emperor takes care. No? Samrat. Any problem which too big for any human being, then they go to Indra, king of heaven. Then he take care. Make sure everything going nicely. But some problems so big, even Indra cannot do anything. Then he goes to the higher devatas like Brahma and Shiva. Help. But sometimes, some problems so huge, Brahma, Shiva, they also do haath jod karke. Baba mera haath ke baat nahi. Some problems so big, even Brahma and Shiva, I cannot do anything. So they go to the Supreme Court. They go to Vishnu. So when Mother Earth described her problem, then Brahma realized, this is beyond my power. So when Brahma heard the distress of Earth planet, Prithvi, then he took Lord Shiva, Indra, Surya, Chandra. Okay, try not to sleep, sir. Hang in there. We talk with our wife and kids, we don't sleep, but Katha is a little different. So Brahma, because we not feel relationship with these topics. No? But wife and children, so much relationship. No? So Guru Maharaj said, even though we don't like to hear, still try and hear. It's good. Like patient doesn't want the medicine, but still medicine is always good for him. So Brahma took Shiva and all the demigods with Earth planet. They went to the abode of Vishnu. In every universe, Vishnu has his own little area that is called Kirdaksai, the ocean of milk. You know? Just like I'm from Australia, so even in Trinidad, Australia has a little embassy. You know? So in every universe, Vishnu has his own embassy, his own place that is called Kir Sagar, ocean of milk. So all the demigods cannot enter that abode of Lord Vishnu. In the Rig Veda, there's one verse, Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Pada Sada Pasyanti Surya Divya Chakshu Satatam. This is Rig Veda. Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam. All the devas, Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Sada Pasyanti Surya. Surya means the Suras, not Asura. Sura means devas. The Suras, Surya means all the Suras. They look up, Om Tad Vishnu Paramam. They all look up to the lotus feet of Vishnu. So even Brahma and Shiva have no power to go to the abode of Vishnu. No. So they sat on the shore of the ocean of milk. No. Many people may think this sounds fantastic, but if there's an ocean of salt, why there's not an ocean of other things? So scriptures describe 7 oceans. Ocean of salt water, ocean of clear water, ocean of sugarcane juice, milk, ghee, yogurt, daru. There's one alcohol ocean. Many Tridians, they're getting ready for that next week. An ocean of milk. So Vishnu resides there. So some descriptions are there of this Kirsaga, Brahmalok, the abode of Bhagavan. So that the ocean of milk, so many waves, and there is no sand, there is like little jewels, millions and millions of jewels. And the demigods sat on that ocean, on that shore of that ocean, and prayed to Vishnu. No? With great attention, after reaching the shore of the ocean of milk, the demigods worshipped the Supreme Lord Vishnu, the master of all the universe, and Deva Deva Brishakapin, the devas of all devas, right? I was thinking today, there's Mahadev, no? But there's Adi Dev, the original Dev, that is Janardhan, Bhagavan. That this Vishnu, he fulfills the desires of everyone. So Brahma and Vishnu have some desire, they go to Vishnu. With great attention, they worship Lord Vishnu by chanting the verses called the Purusha Sukta. Right? In the beginning of creation, they speak this to wake up Lord Vishnu for the creation. So, Brahma cannot see Lord Vishnu. We should not think Krishna is so easy to see. Like every time I come to Trinidad, some old lady comes, yeah, Maharaj, I saw Krishna in my dream. Oh, really? Sometimes people try to cheat us like that. You know? They want to show, see, you think you are Guru, I'm more Guru than you. I saw Krishna. One time some old woman came to Gurudev. Gurudev, I saw Krishna in my dream. Guru Maharaj said, you are lying. If you saw Krishna in a dream, why you are still surrounded by your children and your grandchildren? You would immediately become detached from that. You know? So even Brahma, Shiva, they could not see Vishnu. They could only meditate. No? Yadyapi samadishu vidyapi pasyati na tava nakagamaricham idamichamni nesamya tava chuta tadapi kripad bhutavicham. Sri Rupa Goswami, our main guru in our line, he wrote, even his meditation, Lord Brahma cannot see the toenails of Krishna. So demigods could only meditate. They could not see or go there. They just meditated. While in trance, Lord Vishnu spoke in the heart of Brahma. Because Vishnu is the Paramatma, super soul. So he spoke. O demigods, hear from me the order of Kirdaksai Vishnu. Right? Kirdaksai Vishnu. Kir means milk. So Vishnu, who lies on the ocean of milk, he's called Kirdaksai Vishnu. No? And then Kirdaksai Vishnu is the one who is the super soul in the heart of all of us. Right? Hear from my order. O demigods, hear from me the order of Kirdaksai Vishnu, the Supreme Person, and follow his instruction without delay. What instruction? Bhagavan knows all about the distress of the earth planet. Soon he will appear by his own potency. And all you demigods should appear to serve him. And soon Vishnu will come to earth. And all you demigods should also come to earth planet to serve him. Vasudeva Griha Shakshad Bhagavan Purushapara. Kidaksai Vishnu is speaking. And what he's saying? Vasudeva Griha Bhagavan Purushapara. Soon my Lord, Kidaksai Vishnu is saying, my Prabhu, right? My Prabhu, my Ishvara, my Master, my Source, Vasudeva Griha Shakshad. He will directly appear in the house of Vasudeva. Therefore, all the wives of these devas should also appear there to serve in the form of gopis. Also, Krishna's first expansion, known as Balaram, Sankarshan, he will also appear in the district of Mathura. The potency Vishnu Maya Bhagavata, Vishnu Maya, that means the Maya of Vishnu. She is called Yoga Maya. Have you heard of her? Vishnu Maya, Yoga Maya. She is the same as the Supreme Lord. Shakti Shakti Motora Ved. Sun and sunlight is not different. The energy of Vishnu is the same as Vishnu. So Krishna's own potency. Who is that? The spiritual potency Radhika. No, she will also appear. And also his Maya, Vishnu Maya, Yoga Maya. She will also appear as the sister of the Supreme Lord, the sister of Krishna. Therefore, all you demigods should appear in Mathura in different forms to assist Krishna's appearance in the house of Vasudeva. No? So, Brahma ordered all the demigods, get ready, soon the Krishna will begin his pastimes. No? So at that time, there was the king of Mathura. No? Mathura is a very special place. No? It said each Hindu in his life, just like Muslims have to go to Mecca one time, it said all Hindus must visit 4 places before they die. Radesh, how many years you have left? The way you're going, not too many. Before you kick the bucket, before you shift the mortal coil, Radesh, 4 places you have to go. Vrindavan, people, but these Chari Dham, they say, Chari Dham. But Mathura is king of all of them. These 7 cities which give liberation, Kasi, Ayodhya, and Avantapuri. Mathura Devi is considered the queen, topmost of all holy places. Right? Ekrati Navasanam. If you spend even one night in Mathura, one never sees the womb of a mother again. Why? Nityan Sanadam Hari. Sri Hari always lives there. He never... Vrindavanam Parityajga Padamekam Nagachati. Krishna never takes one step outside of Mathura, outside of Vrindavan. So we're requesting, every year we're requesting, all people from Trinidad who have some faith, some good fortune, you come to the holy place of Vrindavan, especially in the month of Kartik. Radesh, I'm telling you every year, my hairs have gone white, but you still haven't come. Every year we're telling him. Go, yeah, I'll be coming this year. Not coming. Huh? He's blaming COVID, but 10 years ago was no COVID. Probably Radesh invented COVID just to escape going. Every year we're inviting everyone, please come. Especially the month of Kartik, October, November. Topmost month. Topmost place, Mathura. Topmost month, Kartik. And doing what? Topmost activities. Parikram, Harikirtan, Harikatha. No. So those who want more information, come. Very cheap. $100 a month. $100 US a month for everything. But still people say, God, no money. have money for everything else, but coming to a holy place, no money. So since that time, this Mathura Mandal, this is not part of the creation. If you read Varaha Purana, one of the Sattvic Puranas, describe Mathura is not created and not destroyed, like a lotus on water. No? When the pralay, when the devastation comes and everything is finished, Mathura remains like a lotus. So at that time, this city and the district of Mathura, Nityam Sanihotato Hari. I always heard this, but now I sing first time. Gurudev would always say this verse. Nityam Sanohitam Hari. And here it is, I sing first time. Krishna always lives there. He never leaves the holy place of Vrindavan, Mathura. The city and district of Mathura are very intimately connected with Krishna, for Krishna lives there eternally. So a long time ago, there was one devotee called Vasudeva. His name was Anak Dumdubi. When he was born, there was so many drums and divine instruments. So but people called him Vasudeva. He belonged to the Sudha dynasty. And he was marrying Devaki. Devaki and Vasudeva. So Devaki was the cousin sister of the great demon Kamsa. Kamsa in previous life was the demon called Kalnimi. You can read in the Bhagavat Purana when the Suras and Asuras were fighting, Sang, that time Vishnu was killed. Vishnu killed one leader of the demons called Kalnimi. Kalnimi came again because he changed body but mentality not changed so easily. So that same demon, he appeared as King Kams. And today was his cousin sister's marriage. So on day of marriage, everyone become happy. So Kamsa, even though he was king, he was so happy, so much affection for Devaki, he personally driving the chariot. What they call here, Bharat, they call. Right? When boy and girl are married, then the girl goes to the house of the husband, that is called Bharat. So Kamsa was so happy, he became an Uber driver. He was driving Devaki with his own hand. He was surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of golden chariots because he gave big dowry for the marriage of his sister. Devaki's father was named Devak. He had so much love for his daughter. He also gave so much wealth to his daughter. Dowry, the real dowry system, the father, so much affection for my daughter, just in case any problem, she always has like something for her own. I think in real life, husband cannot touch dowry. That always remains the property of the wife. But Kali Yuga, everything changing, no? So Devak had given so many thousands of chariots, so much gold, so many maidservants. What he gave for the dowry of his marriage of his daughter, what he gave? 400 elephants. Radesh, how many elephants you're giving when your daughter's married? Not even one. 400 elephants. And each elephant had a golden garland. Imagine. No? He gave 10,000 horses, 1,800 chariots, 200 young maidservants, and all girls were fully decorated with so many ornaments like queens themselves. So when Vasudeva was taking his new wife to his house after the marriage, so many conch shells, bugles, drums, cymbals, all were making very auspicious sound for the departure of the bride to the new home. And Kamsa was the king of the earth planet, but driving his sister's chariot. No. Generally, king will never drive a chariot. No. It's like insult. But Kamsa have so much affection for Devaki, he take that position. Like Krishna, out of so much affection for Arjuna, he became Parthasati. He drove the chariot of Arjuna. This is affection, love. No? So during this very auspicious and wonderful occasion, you can imagine, marriage. No? At that time a voice came from the sky, "You idiot, Kamsa. You fool. No? You murk. Don't you know the eighth son of this child will be the cause of your death? Then Kamsa became very angry. Immediately he grabbed Devaki's hair. And with his other hand, he took his sword and was about to cut off her head. They say, no bamboo, no flute. No Devaki, no eighth son, happy. So that time is so cruel, so selfish. He wanted to kill his own sister. So he wanted to cut off her head. That time Vasudeva thought, this is emergency. So 4 ways to control someone. Okay? All you ladies can take notes if you want to control your husbands. 4 ways to control someone. Sam, Dan, Danda, and Bed. Sam means you glorify someone. To bring them, to make them favorable, you glorify them. Oh, Radesh, you are so great personality. So handsome, so nicely dressed. You glorify them like that. If that doesn't work, you offer some bribe. I'll give you $5,000, come with me. If that doesn't work, you make bed. Politicians always doing this. Don't vote for them, they're against you, they're against the working class. We are your person, we help the farmers, they only, like this. Thank you. This is called bed, division. And if that doesn't work, danda means violence. Just beat them or something. 4 ways to control someone. This never works with the sadhus. We never do these 4 with the sadhus. Sadhu only controlled by seva, because Krishna only controlled by service too, by affection. So Vasudeva said, first, Sam, glorification. Oh, comes, brother-in-law. Brother-in-law, you are like my brother. You are the pride of your family. You are a great person and a hero. Sam. Next, bed. How could such a great person like you kill his own sister on the day of his marriage? No. You should not do. Oh great, then some logic. Oh great hero, no one has escaped death. No? One time, one man, he had some cancer. So in a very fearful state, he asked Gurudev, I will die. Please help me, please help me. And Gurudev gave the most amazing answer. Gurudev was a real Paramahamsa. He said, in a strong way, he told him, this is very foolish what you are asking. Oh Krishna, I don't want to die. Because everyone have to die. No one can escape death. So to trouble Krishna, to ask Krishna to save me from death, this is like one type of foolishness. So everyone who is born must die. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says the same thing to Arjuna. For one who has taken birth, death is certain. For one who dies, birth is certain. No. One may die today or in 100 years, but death is certain for everyone who has accepted a material body. And what is the destination of this body? It becomes dust, it becomes worms, it becomes stool. Right? If Radesh dies in the forest, dogs and pigs eat him, then he becomes stool. I've used him for example, I cannot think of. If we die, okay, anyone dies in the forest, then dog and pig eats, then you become stool. If you're captured by the Christians and they bury you in the ground, you have to become worm. And if you're cremated, you become ashes. So worm, stool, and ashes. This body will again become earth, water, fire, air, ether. And the owner of the body, the soul, gets a new body. When he gets the next body, then he gives up this body, just like a worm, no? The caterpillar, he goes from one cabbage to the next cabbage. When he's in the next cabbage, he gives up the old one and goes to the next. When do we die? When the super soul takes the soul to its next body, then you die. The soul is never without a material body. No? So, like a person walking, he puts one step, then he gives up the back foot and moves forward. Like a caterpillar goes from one leaf to the next. He gets the new one, he gives up the old one. In the same way, one has to give up this body. and definitely without doubt he will attain the next body. So hearing about this, Vasudeva is saying to Kamsa, for this temporary body which everyone has to give up, why would you perform sinful activity of killing your sister? Then you will have to suffer in the future. No? After all, this body is made of one's previous activities. So just to save this temporary body, like many people eating chicken, how foolish. No? Just for 5 or 10 seconds of happiness, no? You will have to suffer so much in the future. But people are not thinking this. So Vasudeva giving all this philosophy to change the mind of Kamsa. Many. Time is not there to read all the speech. But demons hear everything but never practice, Guru Maharaj would say. So, what you think of are many. We cannot go too much deeply, but beautiful explanation of how the soul goes from one body to the next. So, everything we experience is simply like a mental dream, a temporary situation. Like the sun reflects in a bowl of oil, a bowl of milk, a bowl of water, a bowl of sugarcane juice. That one soul reflects in different bodies. No. Therefore, just for this temporary material body, why you should perform sinful activities? No, many philosophy he gave. Devaki is your sister. You should protect her and love her. You should not kill her. So much philosophy Vasudeva spoke, but Kamsa could not hear anything. So finally, he brought out the nuclear weapon. Vasudeva said, Kamsa Maharaj, Devaki will not kill you. 8th son will kill you. So I promise, each of my child were born, I will give him to you. No? By delivering my son to you, you will be protected. No? Vasudeva was thinking, maybe Kamsa will die before, so I'll offer my children. And Vasudeva was very truthful. So when Kamsa heard this, he became peaceful. Yes, it's true. Devaki will not kill me, the 8th son. That 8th son will be who? That 8th son is Lord Vishnu. No. Therefore, when Vasudeva and Devaki heard this, they become so ecstatic. No. So, Vasudeva was supremely truthful. So when Kamsa heard he will give each child, he became peaceful. No. But after some time his mind changed, because the demons, their mind is never fixed. No, they're always changing here to there. So when the first child was born, then Vasudeva, as he said, he gave the first child to Kamsa. When Kamsa saw his own nephew, Bunja, what's it called? What do you call here? Bunja, nephew. His heart melted with affection. This child will not kill me, the 8th child, so he gave the child back. Means he began acting very nicely and very properly. Then all the demigods became worried. If Kamsa becomes a sadhu, how will Vishnu kill him? So the demigods made a plan. Narada Muni came to visit. No. Then Kamsa had so much respect for Narada. Dandavats Gurudev, welcome. Kamsa gave a great seat to Narada. No. How can I serve you? Then Narada Muni said, I heard him, Natura, peta is very famous. One sweet is there, peta. Bring me 8 pieces of peta. So Kamsa ran, brought a place with 8 pieces on a plate. Then Narada Muni said, give me the 8th piece. Then Kamsa began scratching his head. Gurudev, which one is the 8th piece? It depends where you start counting, right? If you start counting this one, then this one becomes the 8th. But if you start counting here, then this one becomes the 8th. How do I know which one is the 8th? Then Narada Muni said, how do you know which one is the 8th son of Vasudeva? It depends where you start counting. Then Kamsa began thinking, what should I do? Then Narada Muni said, you understand yourself what to do, I'm just giving some inspiration. And Narada Muni disappeared. Also, Kamsa had so much bad association of Putana, Keshi, many demons. Therefore, he gave the child back, but after some time his mind changed. He took the first son of Vasudeva and killed him. Narada Muni also told Kamsa many things. Oh, before in your previous life you were Kalnimi and Vishnu killed you. The eighth son of Devaki will be Vishnu. And all these Brishnis, they're all demigods, come to serve the purposes of Lord Vishnu. So Kamsa began his program of torturing the devotees, the Vaishnavas, the Devas, because he thought that they're all my enemy. So he put them all in jail, especially Devaki and Vasudeva, he put in jail. He gave order, cut down all the mango trees, kill all the cows, no chanting of Vedic mantras, no reading of Veda. He stopped all these things. No. Then, as each child was born in the jail, one by one, Kamsa would kill. But the seventh child, the Bhagavatam described, was a miscarriage. It's described what miscarriage? That seventh son was actually Balaram, Sankarshan. First he appeared in the womb of Devaki. And I think he stayed there for 6 months. No? Then Bhagavatam described Devaki had a miscarriage. The seventh child was lost. But Bhagavatam describes no. Yogamaya transferred Balaram from the womb of from the womb of Devaki, transferred him to the womb of Rohini. And he stayed there for another 8 months. So I think Balaram was in the womb for 14 months. No? And who is that eighth child? That eighth child was Krishna himself. So how did Krishna appear in the womb of Devaki? We should not think Krishna came like man and woman together, then a child is an ordinary mundane child enters the womb. Krishna did not enter the womb like that. Vasudeva chanted mantra in the ear of Devaki, Vishnu mantra. So by mantra, Krishna entered the ear and then the heart and womb of Devaki and appeared there. No? So Krishna never appears by ordinary like man and woman. Devaki, because the Supreme Lord was in her womb, she became supremely effulgent, supremely blissful. When Kamsa saw her, Kamsa felt fear because he knew something special is there, my death is there. But he could not kill a woman, that is a very bad thing. So he becomes so much fearful. Kamsa became so much restless and fearful. Day by day, Devaki appeared more full, like the moon gradually increases to the full moon. No, Devaki gradually increasing in beauty because the Supreme Lord manifested in her womb. The more she became attractive, the more she became beautiful and powerful, the more fearful Kamsa came. So Chintya Rishikesha, Kamsa became absorbed in Krishna consciousness. But unfortunately, unfavorable way. Out of fear. No? So, these are all described. So, here, actually these few days I wanted to talk about this called Garbstuti. Especially in Trinidad, people have a lot of confusion. Who should I worship? And many people are not sure, so they just do all-rounder. Monday for Hanuman, or Thursday for Brihaspati. They throw in Bhagavat Satyanarayan there a few times a year as well. Something for Shiva, something for Ganesh, because not too much sure. What is the tattva? No? But this Garbstuti is prayers by the demigods to the womb of Devaki. Because Krishna is the shelter of everything, and Devaki give him shelter. So how great is Devaki? So this Garbstuti, beautiful Siddhanta, beautiful teachings are there. So, Bhagavan ordered Yogamaya, Devi, especially I know in Trinidad, everyone very happy the time of, actually most people are not very happy during Durga Puja because no chicken, no onion and garlic for 9 days. But people do this austerity. They think, by this I become pure and Devi is happy. But question is, on the 10th day, then why you go back to the chicken and the wine and the onion and garlic? If Devi happy by 9 days of pure vegetarian, imagine how happy Devi will be if you do your whole life, right? If you want to worship her nicely. So this Devi, Prabhupada described, electricity is one, but she works in two ways. Electricity goes in the heater, it makes hot. Electricity goes in the AC, becomes cold. But electricity is one. So Shakti is one. But the spiritualists see it in one way, and the materialists see it in another way. No? So the jivas who are inclined to Vishnu Seva, the Seva of Vishnu, they perceive her in the spiritual way that is called Yogamaya. No? And the materialist, or Radhika herself, Radharani herself, ultimately, Sita Devi herself, this is the spiritual Shakti. Sita does nothing else except think of Ram and serve Ram. Radharani, no other desire except Krishna's seva. So for the spiritualist, she is perceived in one way. But for the materialist, she is perceived in another way. That is Durga, Mahamaya. So this Maya is Vishnu Maya, Krishna's potency. So Krishna ordered. No. So Jarasandha had many powerful demons helping him. Pralamba, Bakasur, Chanu, Trinidad, Agasur, Mustik, Aristasur, Dvivida. He's there in Ramayana also. If you read Ramayana, Hanuman and Dvivida, these are two main servants of Ram. But Dvivida always used to criticize Lakshman. He thought, Bhagavan Ram is strong, but Lakshman is not so strong. So because he saw difference between Ram and Lakshman, then Dvivida made offense, therefore he became a demon, and he stayed all this time until Krishna Lila. Putana, Keshi, Dhenuk, Banasur, Narakasur. These demons also had so many histories of that. So these demons were controlling Mathura, all the devotees, the Brishnis were running here and there. Some just bowed their heads and served Kamsa, but they were not satisfied. No. So, after Kamsa killed the 6 sons of Devaki, Krishna's expansion entered the womb of Devaki. That is Ananta, Sankarshan. So to protect the Yadus, Krishna ordered Yogamaya in the following way. Gacha Devim Brajam Badre Gopa Gopi Alankritam. O Devi, you should decorate Vrindavan with so many gopis, Gopi Alankritam. Decorate Vrindavan with millions of cows and millions of gopis. Rahini Vasudevasya, you should transfer Sankarshan from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rahini. Bratyasya Nanda Gokula. No. Also, Rahini will then go to live in Gokul, in the house of Nanda. Within the womb of Devaki is my partial expansion known as Sankarshan. Transfer him to the womb of Rahini. No. You will then appear as the daughter of Mother Yasoda. I shall appear with my full opulences, and you shall come as my young sister. So here Krishna is already saying, I will appear in 2 places. One form I will take in the womb of Devaki, another form I will appear in the womb of Yasoda. Otherwise, why Krishna says to Yogamaya, you will appear as my sister in the womb of Yasoda. So here in Bhagavatam also it's described how Bhagavan Krishna appears in 2 places. Kamsa was full of fear. He knew by the instructions of Narada, Vishnu had appeared in the womb of Devaki. He could not kill her because bad reputation would be there. No. Therefore he always felt an anxiety. Therefore while eating, sleeping, he constantly saw the Supreme Lord before him with Sudarshan Chakra. Ajao beta. So while this was going on, Devaki was becoming more and more blissful. Then the demigods thought, when Vishnu was there in the ocean of milk, we could not see him, but now he is coming close, we can see him directly. So the demigods, Brahma, Shiva, Indra, that is king of heaven, Chandra, moon god, Varuna, god of the ocean, as well as Narada, Devala, Vyas, and all saintly persons invisibly surrounded Devaki in the prison house. Kamsa had put chains on the wrists and arms of Devaki, that they should not escape, and my killer, if they escape, then my death also escapes with them. So they thought, now is a great chance. They began offering prayers to the womb of Devaki, to Bhagavan in the womb. So tomorrow, I thought I'd get to finish this tonight, but no. We will hear these prayers. Many people think Hare Krishnas, we criticize Shiva, we criticize Ganesh, but it is not like that at all. No. Krishna teaches us in Bhagavad Gita, Suradam Sarva Bhutatam. The devotee give respect to everyone, have affection to everyone. So how we cannot be respectful to such great personalities like Ganesh, Shankar, and Devi? But we have to see them in the correct position. No? Just like, can't think of proper, but mother and some prostitute, no? We cannot see them in the same way. King and servant, there's a difference, no? So religion means proper adjustment. We should try to understand everyone's position. Like if I accept you but I treat your mother and father badly, you would not be happy. No? So in the same way, if we respect Ganesh, Shankar, Brahma, Indra, we respect them, but we don't respect their Prabhu. No? Like Ravan. No? He respected Shiva, but he never respected Shiva's Ishtadev, Shiva's Guru, which is Ramchandra. So, if we accept someone but don't accept that they also are servants of Bhagavan, this will be a fault. If Shankar is Bhagavan, then why is Ravan a demon? He's a demon because he not respect. Shiva is also a servant of Vishnu. Shiva is always meditating. Who is he thinking of? Rama, Rama, Rameti, Ramanam, Manoharam, Sahasranam, Tatpunyam, Radhanam, Samavritam. Shankar always thinking of the feet of Ram. If you read Ramcharitamanas, this is Trinidad, everyone read Ramcharitamanas at home. Suno ma satya upana, satya hari bhakti, or sabasabasnapna. Devi, I am telling the truth. There is only one truth, Hari Bhakti. Everything else is a dream. Who's speaking this? This is Shiva himself speaking to. Devi, this is Ramcharitamanas, spoken by Mahadev himself. So we accept Shiva, but accept him as Guru. No, he gives love of Krishna. Then there is no fault at all. No? It's said if you worship Bhagavan Krishna and give that prasad to Shankar, Shankar becomes so happy. Then we eat that prasad, no problem. But someone directly, like many people worship Hanuman, for example. But if you worship Hanuman but forget Ram, this is not proper worship of Hanuman, and Hanuman never satisfied by that worship. So, these are prayers by all the great personalities, and we should hear nicely what they're praying. We should try to understand them also, not just worship them. So we worship them like Guru, like on the 28th is Shivaratri. No, Hare Krishna devotees, we also fast for Shivaratri. No? But what we pray for, Prabhu, Nirupadi Prem Prayacha Namo Namaste. Give me love for Radha Krishna. No. So that is 28th. So Brahma, Shiva, all came to the prison house of Kamsa. And surrounding Devaki, they began offering prayers. This is called Garbh Stuti. Beautiful prayers. Satyabratam, Satyapadam, Trisatyam, Satyesa Yoni Nihitam Cha Satyam, Satyasya Satyam Riti Sattvanetam, Satyatmakam Tam Saranam Prapadya. Satya means truth. The Gayatri, which is called the mother of all Veda. What does it tell you to do, the Gayatri? Satyam Padam Dhimahi. You should meditate on the Satyam, the true thing. Satya means eternal. And what is eternal in this world? Nothing. When we die and they carry us to the Singhasan, when he finally kicks the bucket, they'll be carrying him. Some will be happy, some will be sad. But what they'll be saying, Ram Nam, Satya hai. Satya, what is it? Satya Bolo Gatya. The name of Ram is the only Satya. So the demigods are all praying to Vishnu, to Krishna in the womb. Satyavatam, Satyaparam, Trisatyam. Satyasya yonim nihitam cha Satya. Again, Satya, 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 Satya. No. Sanatan Dharma means that which is always present. Sadatan. Which is never declining, never decreasing, never disappearing. That is Sanatan Dharma. Another name of Sanatan Dharma is Bhakti. Sanatan Dharma means service to Bhagavan. Krishna is the Satya, the truth. The Jiva is also eternal. Bhagavan is also eternal. The Jiva's relationship with Bhagavan as a servant, this is Sanatan Dharma. So Satyabratam, Satyaparam, Trisatyam. Oh, beautiful. Satyabratam. Your words are always true. Why we give so much importance to the Veda? The Veda is two types, Shruti and Smriti. What Bhagavan speaks directly about himself, that is called Shruti. Shruti means to hear. What Bhagavan speaks directly about himself, that is Shruti. And what others speak about Bhagavan is called Smriti. What appears in the heart of great persons about Bhagavan is called Smriti, like Ramayana. Who is that Hindu who will not accept Ramayana? Why? Written by Valmiki. Valmiki is a great Mahapurush. So Bhagavan revealed himself in the heart of Valmiki, and what Valmiki revealed is also Veda. You cannot say like Ramayana is not Veda. No. Shruti and Smriti. No? So Satyabratam. What Bhagavan speaks, that is Shruti, that is true, that is Satya. Why everyone gives so much respect to the Vedas? Because it comes directly from Bhagavan. Right? Hare Rama. Satyabratam. Also, what Krishna promises, that is true. Right. How long I have more? 5 minutes. I think so. Satyabratam. What he speaks, that is truth. Like Bhagavad Gita, who not respect Bhagavad Gita because spoken directly by Krishna. Satyabratam, Satyaparam, the supreme absolute truth. There's many truths in this world, but what is the supreme? That is Krishna. Satyabratam, Satyaparam, Trisatyam. Trisatyam means true in all three phases of time. We are not. We are always changing, right? 10 years ago, how was I? Handsome, lot of hair, skinny. Now look at me. We are changing always. In the past we were something, now we are something, in the future we are changing. But Krishna is not like that. Trisatyam. In the past he was true. Now he is true, and in the future he will be true. He is the only tattva which never changes. Satyabratam, Satyaparam, Trisatyam, Satyasya yonim nihitam cha Satya. And all truths come from Krishna. So what comes from Krishna is also true. That is what we were saying. Many people, like the Buddhists, they believe this world is false. But we cannot but believe that. We can say this world is temporary, but you cannot say it's false, right? If you punch yourself in the face, it's not false, it's real. So this world is temporary, but it's true, it's real. Jiva Goswami give the example like a flower. No? I can pick some flowers and offer to Bhagavan, and I get an eternal result, right? A pack of incense costs how much in the shop? How much? $5? I don't know. Something. Depends which Indian shop you go to. Incense costs what? One stick of incense costs nothing. But you offer that to Bhagavan, the result is true. So you cannot say this world is false. You can say it's temporary. But it's true because it comes from the truth. No? So we cannot believe like the Buddhists. The Buddhists believe everything is temporary, everything is imaginary, everything is false. But the Vedic teachings don't teach us like that. It's temporary, but it's true also. No? Satyasya yonim nihitam cha satyat. And everything which comes from you is also true. Satyasya satyam riti satya netram. Unless one is satya, he cannot see you. No? Satyaka netram. Netram means eyes. He is seen by the eyes of truth. No? Kamsa was looking at Devaki but could not understand. No? Even though Devaki was right before him. When Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, there was millions and millions of soldiers who also heard Bhagavad Gita being spoken. But after seeing Krishna, after hearing his instructions, they still tried to kill him. Then there was 18 days of war. Ravan saw Ramchandra right before him, but his eyes, Satyaka Netram, he had no eyes of truth, no eyes of devotion, so even though Bhagavan was directly before him, he could not understand. If Krishna walked right in the middle of this, if Krishna came and took a seat right in the front, none of us would understand him, because even though Krishna is rightly present there, we have no eyes to properly understand. If someone gives us a real diamond and a fake one, we cannot tell the difference because no trained eyes. So we have to become qualified to properly see Bhagavan, to properly understand him. Right? Bhagavan is everywhere. Why we have never even seen him once? Because Satyaka Netram. Satasya Satyam Riti Satya Netram. You are seen by those persons who are dedicated to the truth. No? Unless one is completely truthful, one cannot see you. Satyatmakam Tvam Saranam Prapadye. You are the active principle of all truth. No? You are the beginning of all truth. Therefore, Saranam Prapadye. We offer our obeisances to you. No? So we'll hear these prayers. Give you a little bit, beautiful prayers, no? There is one body which is like a tree. No? This tree has two branches. This tree has two branches. These branches have three fruits. No? This has 3 roots, 4 fruits. We'll hear all this. No? 5 types of leaves, 7 types of bark, 6 changes of the body. Anyway, I shouldn't try to finish this in 30 seconds. 1 body, 2 branches, 3 roots, 4 fruits, 5 leaves, 6 changes, 6 transformations, 7 barks, 8 branches, 9 holes. The demigods talk about this body. And this is all material knowledge, but also important. So this always happens when you try to finish everything in 30 seconds. You end up confusing everyone. So we'll hear tomorrow the demigods. They give the perfect understanding of this body. No? Why Krishna comes to this world? What is the cause? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, no? Yada yada hi dharmasya grani bharate bharata abhutanam madanamasya tadatmajam srijamyaham padatanaya sadunam vinasaya tadushkatam dharma samstapanataya sambhavani yuge yuge. So tomorrow we will hear this Garb Stuti. Wonderful teachings, so much we can get from this. If you'll be a little patient, tomorrow we'll also describe how Krishna appeared in 2 places. One form from the womb of Devaki, another form from the womb of Yasoda. No? Why many people think Krishna only appeared in Mathura, then was transferred? Why it's not directly described clearly in the Bhagavatam? No, we will explain all these things tomorrow. Especially how Krishna in Vrindavan, how he appeared. So many wonderful leelas are there. So tomorrow is many, many teachings. But not just dry philosophy, also some nectar is there. Medicine needs, like the mother and father put the medicine, but in some honey. So these old teachings, not just dry, also so much covered by the nectar of Krishna's pastimes. And we'll try and make our way through these teachings tomorrow night. Srimad Bhagavat Mahapurana ki jai. Jai Jai Sri Radhe.